good morning and welcome back to the Merrickville Boat Launch here in Merrickville. We are getting you geared up and ready for boating because it's Boater Safety Week, and here to talk about it is the Ontario Provincial Police Constable Bill Robertson. So first of all, just tell us why you guys have this initiative each and every year.
Well, it's just basically simple. It's to make sure that people are aware of safety on the water and make sure that they're going to be prepared before they go out on the water.
So are there certain safety measures people need to do before they even get into their boat each year?
Yeah, of course. Well, being the start of the season as well, a lot of people are taking their boats out for the first time. We run into situations like want to ensure that your motor is working properly, make sure that the equipment on your boat is there and readily accessible to whoever you take out as well as yourself. With regards to the motor, you know, making sure that there's fresh gas in a boat and making sure that the oil's up on it. We had an incident this past week where a couple of gentlemen were out on a pontoon boat in the St. Lawrence, and they got outside in the main channel in a higher current area, and they lost power and they were just sent adrift. So luckily enough, we came by and we were able to tow them back to shore. But there's an example of not ensuring that your boat is running properly before you venture out.
And what are some other things in terms of, you know, should you be able to let people know where you're going to be and where you're going to be, I guess, boating for the day?
Yeah, especially on the larger bodies of water, you want to make sure that if you're going to go out for a specified amount of time, you want to tell a friend or somebody to say, you know, we're going to go out here, we're heading to these destinations, and we expect to be back by a certain amount of time, you know, as well. I mean, a lot of areas nowadays you can be covered by cell phone as well. If you get into trouble, you'll have a cell phone or marine radio for that matter.
And what in terms of boating license? It's mandatory now to have a license on you to operate the motor, I guess, the boat.
That's right. You have to have a proof of competency on board, a boater's card if you're operating a power-driven vessel. If you're renting a vessel, you have to show an approved rental safety checklist as well if you don't have a boater's card.
Now today is a beautiful day for boating. I mean, we have the rain coming down on us. It's great. What about in terms of weather? What do you recommend for people to know to practice safe boating in weather?
Well, as far as the equipment on the boat goes, if you're out in weather like this, you need to make sure you have navigational lights on your boat. You have to make sure that you would have proper rain gear, obviously. Hypothermia can set in after prolonged time out in the rain like this and the colder weather. I mean, it's probably just around 70 degrees today. It might seem warm if you're outside for a couple of minutes, but if you're out and your boat breaks down, you need to be prepared to deal with it.
And what about in terms of lightning and that sort of stuff? Obviously, it's not recommended to be out in the boat in that kind of weather.
No, I mean, there is no safety rules with lightning other than just get off the lake as fast as you can.
Perfect. And you know, do you find it's still very common for people not to practice all these safety measures, even though they've been boating for year after year?
Yeah, I think the general, when we run into people like that where they're not prepared and they don't have the equipment that they need, I think a lot of times it's just that opinion of it's never going to happen to me. You know, it's just not going to happen to me. And some people get away with it and some people don't. And sometimes we're fortunate enough to come onto those people, and whether it's to help them out or sometimes have to take enforcement action to give them that little reminder to do things properly.
Fantastic. Well, there's also some, you know, safety tools you need on your boat. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Stay with us. Lots more to come here on CTV Morning Live.